And we are back with round two of the Dual Commander event at CoolStuffCon Dallas. XJ Cloud here, joined once again by Jason from DualCom US. And
Hello.
this round is a specific treat because it's not only Quintorius here versus Aang Swift Savior, but it is myself versus Jason. So we get to commentate on our own match that we had played.
Yeah, and it's there's a little spacing between the actual event and when we're doing this recording, so I don't remember I'll say most of the match. I definitely remember a key part of game 3 that I won't spoil, but yeah, it left a lingering effect, I'll say that for sure. But yeah, I mean this is a fun matchup too. I play Aang on paper a lot. If you can't tell from my Aang playmat and Aang sleeves that I have custom made, and
Your
yeah,
fancy
I
foil
love,
Aang.
yeah, just the best. I think them putting Avatar. So I'm actually mulliganing
Yeah, this,
here. I
this
think
is
down to
yeah, this
5.
looks like the second mulligan here.
Yeah, because both, I remember this specifically, both hands to start with had exactly one land.
Yeah, not
And against
exactly.
Quintorius, you can't do that.
Against a lot of decks, you can't do that. But
Yeah.
so yeah, like you
So
said,
yeah.
I enjoy this matchup. Quint has a lot of variability in how its blue matchups go, but when we see
Mhm.
there, Wrath of the Sky is a very good card in this matchup.
Yeah. This is what made me keep this hand, to be honest. I think I had like a couple lands, Wrath of the Skies, Snapcaster Mage, Static Prison, and I end up looking through it. I'm like, all right, I'm keeping Snapcaster or keeping Static Prison, and I was like, no, I'm gonna put Static Prison Snapcaster back.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going off memory and kind of what I'm seeing. That's probably one of my first mistakes. But you play Bloodstained Mire pass. I play my fetch land, wait for you to crack yours. I do run the Stifle package, so I was kind of hoping you'd fall for it. So I'm like, okay, he's not going to do it. I'll just crack my fetch land and go.
It
And
depends a lot on what it's in my hand, but I throughout this tournament I'm fairly consistent at versus blue decks. I'll just fetch in response to a fetch here, but this for some reason I'm not doing it now. I don't actually know what my reasoning is here.
yeah, I'm not sure. That's an interesting move. I go get a Surveil land. Again, I do my Aang deck runs the Stifle package. And since this tournament, now little spoiler here, I did not make top 8 in this tournament. I made ninth actually, which is a huge bummer. So I'm deciding if I'm going to keep it on top. I put the land away because my hand's full of lands after the mulligan. I'm like, all right, well, put the land away, play Marsh Flats, and I think I just pass it back to him.
Oh, that's why I'm
He
keeping the fetch line.
plays,
This makes a lot of sense.
yeah, plays Tithe. I fetch in response, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'll go get Tundra. And I'm like, maybe I don't get Tundra. I'm kind of thinking maybe I go get like Hollow Fountain and let it come and tap. But yeah, just go get Tundra,
For the
and that's
viewers at home that are not 100% with it, there, this is a fetch hold priority cast tithe, so you
yeah,
have less lands than your opponent, even when you're on the play. So I
yeah,
control one land with the Bloodstained Mire activation on the stack here, cast the tithe, and then I can get two lands off my tithe.
yeah. And my thought process here is like, if I had a Tail's End or Stifle, this is kind of the moment to catch him.
Definitely.
But it's just not. It's just not great, especially it's like going into his turn 3. Um, the cool thing about Aang is I feel like there's not a whole lot of like shutout pieces for against Aang.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just so versatile where you can play Aang and deal with it, or you play so much removal that you can work around stuff like that. But I go ahead and let the trigger resolves more than likely because I don't have any
Yeah.
answer to it.
Even yeah, if you have Stifle there, obviously sending me back a land's rough, but we're getting our divination here off the tide. We're hitting some more land drops, so it's not the
Right.
end of the world. I imagine if you had like Tails and specifically, you'd probably want to like just save it for Quint at that point. Seeing me get two lands is just like not really
Right.
worth shooting a land.
Absolutely. And if there was sound to this, you'd hear my funny commentary and try to make all I do is try to make my opponent laugh a little bit, have a good time, and enjoy the fact that I'm getting my butt kicked. So he plays. This must be your early
Yeah, this was
adaptation
with
of
the
this.
hostility combo and stuff. We have
Yeah,
Mesmeric Orb here, which I did mill out a Tivit player once. One of my favorite matches that I played on stream. Um,
yeah. I played Orb in the my original adaptation and decided like it was too risky, but I wasn't running hostility, so that's probably where I made my mistake.
yeah, there are definitely some downsides, especially in a world with like Tassiger, if you're milling your opponent's
Right.
opposing black decks into Cling to Dust and stuff like that. But I had a lot of success just like milling myself into Squeeze and Flages and stuff.
Yeah, so we hit Solitude, Fury, Lands,
Pyroblast, looks
and
like.
Pyroblast.
We're going to see the graveyard quickly go off the screen here, but
Yeah.
making
And the other
myself.
cool thing with your adaptation is the anger aspect of putting anger straight into the graveyard.
I love
That can
anger, and later on in this event, we will see some sick anger action. Oh, there. Speaking of hostility,
yeah.
sometimes you just slam a 6/6 haste.
Yeah, and so I'm looking at it going, oh gosh, I hate this. I'm like, okay, is there a way I can exile it and keep it exiled? Like, okay, if I airbend here,
Yeah,
and the thought process is, I hope I can get Drained Magistrate.
yeah.
If I can get Draineth out, maybe I can keep it exiled. Now, um, a lot of like Aang decks will run like Soulless Jailer and stuff. Notably, Soulless Jailer wouldn't work here. And I don't run it in this adaptation of my Aang deck yet. I end up putting it in later
Hmm.
on. But yeah, so I crack Pledge Strand, go get a basic planes just in case you have Magus or something, and try to work around anything. But I have Aang, you're tapped out. I'm like, okay, maybe I can do something here. Um, this is a Mesmeric
Cryptic.
Orb result,
Yeah,
so milled my step through there, which was very annoying because has Wizard cycling to go
yeah,
get Drain of Magistrate.
yeah. Or even like with Transmetry, obviously good here with the hostility airbend, but in general, just like
Yeah,
grabbing Snapcaster Mage while you're milling all these cards would also be something nice.
right. So yeah, stocking up, um, trying to find Drain of Magistrate or something to keep the hostility away because man, that thing is just one 6/6 on the
It's
board can
it's
just
no
ruin
slouch,
it.
and if you have like lightning bolts and flages and stuff, the thing can go pretty crazy.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm just trying to look for the answer, and I'm thinking, okay, well, if I can just get a hard counter, maybe I can just keep it off the board and make sure it doesn't murder me.
This is a rough spot to be in though, because it's even without any more like lands in hand or anything. This is 6 mana, which means it can threaten hostility and Quintorius in the same like turn
Right.
cycle. So you have some solid answers here.
Yeah. So, um, I think I'm thinking through like the attack. I end up getting Static Prison.
Makes sense. Good answer
So
for one of them, especially with the
yeah,
Scatter
get
Souls.
Guide Souls, hit you in the face for 2, and then get ready to take 6 and start hurting.
It's like a bunch of lands. Ooh, a squee value and
We
a
and
untimely
untimely
malfunction.
malfunction. Yeah, if you ever watch my content, you'll see I am a Brian Kibler esque player where I flick my cards billion times, especially in paper. Um, and it is quite annoying as the editor of my own videos. It is quite annoying to hear. So
All right, what do we got here? Think about
thankfully
Quinn.
you guys don't have to listen to that a billion times. All right, so Quintorius.
Makes sense.
I'm
With
like, yeah,
one mana up, it's like wash away or the free spells at that point.
yeah. So I don't think I have any of that. I have Static Prison, so I let it resolve.
Yeah,
Let you do your thing and
update the
hope
world.
to God I can find a way out of this with hostility.
Oh, I
And
got a
I'm like, I'm
red in
just so
there.
worried about hostility.
Quick look at that. I don't know what else is in my hand. I need to next time I do a recording, I need to play less close to the chest and let the camera take a peek at my hand sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that you guys will see in the Urtai matchup is like Richard showing the hand was actually really
Yeah.
good, really cool
Obviously,
to
I'm not gonna
know.
like ask my opponent to show their hand to the camera every round or whatever,
Yeah,
but whoever's a good sport or myself, I can like show my own hand to the camera to have
yeah.
some
So here's
early
Portable
game
Hold,
talk
get rid of the
elements.
Guide to Souls.
Makes sense.
Uh, this is where I hear my inner thoughts go, I needed that, but that's all right. So play a land here. I think I have Odawara in hand as well. I'm just kind of thinking through like Static Prison. Yeah, I'm not sure what I should also. Maybe I should next turn. So that is a.
It's a good turn to like Wrath for
I
2.
also think I missed a
Yeah,
Mesmeric Orb trigger there.
that is true. Yeah, Wrath for 2 makes sense. Hits 2 mana rocks, portable hole, and the orb gets you your
Yeah,
Guided Souls back. You want to do that before you cast the Static Prison, obviously. It would be nice. Obviously, you can't do it with the sequencing. Your Wrathless guys would blow up your Static Prison. But there's a world where, like, if Guided Souls is off the table, then maybe I leave Quint under the Static Prison. But
right.
obviously, with the Guided Souls in play, that's a lot worse of a proposition. But I think I'm thinking
Yeah,
about whether or not I want to.
I'm a huge sucker for Static Prison too. Like, it looks like you do leave it under
Yeah. I
Static
assume I
Prison.
have some sort of, like, answer to Guided Souls. I'm not too pressed about it. But always a little bit of a
Yeah.
risky proposition.
The cool thing I've learned playing Aang a little bit is I've added boomerang basics to my Aang package, so cards like Static Prison and such can kind of reset themselves,
Yeah.
or Parallax Wave
We got
and
Wrath
so
of
on.
God with Reb backup.
Yeah,
Or
Day of Judgment makes sense.
Do I have land? Slam hostility? Nothing?
Yeah, Land Slam Hostility would probably put me in a real bad spot. But instead, it looks like we're looking at Currency Converter, which is
And
fine-ish.
Tapland. My favorite Boros garrison.
Ugh, ugh. You'll never see me liking those dang tap lands or whatever bounce lands.
Karoo lands, I think, is the
Ugh,
accepted term.
Kuru lands. All right, what do we got? We got Recruiter of the Guard.
Yeah, so this is something that whenever we play, I frequently kind of fumble this because I'm so used to playing against Ang players that like play very, very hard control decks. But your deck specifically has a lot more creatures than I'm used to.
That's so funny because my deck runs 20. This version of the deck runs 25 creatures.
That's so many.
Yeah, and so like this is the common debate I have with Duelcast MTG.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks I should be closer to 30. And I'm like, I kind of want to cut creatures. Like I want to be closer to those, like that 20 number.
Yeah.
30 creatures. So I'm going for Felia here to try to blink up Static Prison.
Yeah. Fortunately, at least blinking the Static Prison versus getting a bunch of energy means that like I can choose to put Quintorius in the command zone after it gets re-Static Prison or whatever.
And the other cool thing with Felia is I have Recruiter to guard, so that's kind of what I'm thinking through. Of like, all right, I can wait till your turn, flash Felia, and then hopefully I have a counter spell in hand because you still haven't cast Hostility, which is like huge bonus here. Huge bonus of like Hostility hasn't ate me alive. I still have 4 mana. You know that Felia's in hand, so this is also the weird part of paper. All right, so as I speak of it, here it comes. Hostility. Ugh.
Beatdowns.
So here comes 6 damage. Does it have trample? It doesn't have trample.
No, it just says haste.
I'm gonna take it because I'm an idiot.
Makes sense. Your recruiter's like your value card.
Yeah, so we're gonna flash in Felia at turn step. You have 5 mana over there too?
Yep, 5 mana. Squee known in hand, Reb known by us in hand. I don't know what else I've got going on over there, but it makes sense holding up, activating Currency Converter, start getting some value off this Squee.
Right.
But if I don't have an answer for this Felia rolled up, things get a little ugly. No,
all right, so Council Judgment. Love this card. Again, different from most Aang lists, but this just gets rid of every threat.
So many anglers that play like almost exclusively at instant speed, just like really leaning into the blue-white flash angle.
Yeah, so we're gonna blink. This is where we start the blink of Static Prison.
Makes sense.
Give you a second to look at your Quintorius.
Am I supposed to? Do I mess up here? I'm supposed to activate currency converter. The Quint's back in play, right? Activate currency converter, make a 3/2, block Ophelia.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
Seems like a misplay.
Yeah, okay. Oh, no, I do realize it here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I just now realized. I don't think there's any reason not to do that in combat.
I think the only aspect of maybe why you didn't do it is I do have 5 mana exactly,
Yeah,
and I can just airbend the token away.
Yeah.
Which I probably will do.
Yeah, but since I could have at least forced the issue. Now you don't have to airbend the token away if you don't want to. So.
Right.
Huh. Yeah.
But this is also why I love Static Prison and deck like this.
And have the Red Elemental Blast. I could have rebbed the Ang. Yeah, that was a pretty bad misplay because the Spelia just continually getting value is really, really good. Obviously.
Right. And I also missed a trigger here. Felia should have a counter.
Yes, it should.
Man, we're 2 content creators just misplaying all over the place.
That is Oliphant, I think?
That is Oliphant.
Oh, there's an anger in the yard that was milled God knows when. I can see it just on the corner of the screen there.
I can see the anger now, yeah. So I'm staring down death, I think.
Oh, yeah, this is lethal. And I have Reb for the Ang. Yeah. Okay. We solved it.
Yep.
Maybe that's why I didn't want to block, because I was setting up lethal. Oh, I was showing off the anger to the camera. Look at me. I knew what was going on.
You knew what you're doing.
Yeah, I knew my plan. That has to be why I decided not to block. I'm looking at like Oliphant in my hand with the red backup, and you having 1 card plus Ang, and being like, okay, I just want to set lethal. I don't care about this.
Yeah, the mulligan to 5 cost me there. It's just tough to come back from.
A surprisingly close game. There are a lot of games in Duel Commander where you think you're like gonna be dead because you mulled to 5, and then you manage to scrape back in.
Yeah, I mean it was close. Maybe I got a little too aggressive. Should have kept the Recruiter Guard back. There at the end. Again, I don't think anyone necessarily plans for an Oliphant to stomp you to death. But this is definitely a good lesson of like watching out for it and not going as aggressive.
Yeah, especially with an anger sitting in the yard. Like we as commentators here missed the anger getting milled. It's probably pretty easy to like, in the 30 card graveyard of after, God knows how many Mesmeric Orb triggers to kind of forget about that. And then even then Quint doesn't have a ton of creatures, let alone giant creatures to haste in. Hostility's already dealt with.
Right. Yeah, I was just I think I was playing a little too loose game 1, especially like trying to just jam as much as I could and kind of relying on Ang a little too hard against a red-white deck that can deal with Ang. Mm-hmm. Again, this is me crying about like, oh, I can't believe I forgot, I don't know, probably something like that. And this is also round 2. So like my first opponent, I made quit the tournament. We won't talk about that, but I see Wrath of the Skies already, and I'm like I'm snap keeping because Wrath of the Skies
snap keep.
Yeah. But this is a really fun matchup overall. Like it doesn't hurt bad to make mistakes against Quintorius sometimes, but being two Quintorius players, kind of I play Quintorius regularly, kind of helps understand like, okay, cool, like this is what we need. This is what I need to look out for, pretty much.
These are the starts that I'm not accustomed to playing against Ang, when you just go like 1-drop creature, 2-drop creature, and I'm like, all right, wait. I was ready to hit like land drops for 4 turns.
Yeah.
Suddenly I need to kill some of these things.
Time to tempo. Like, let's just put the pressure down. And I think some people kind of forget that at Quintorius' heart, it's a control deck.
Yeah.
Like, it wants to stop you from getting creatures out to just slam it. And if you can do that, then do that. Like, don't worry too bad. Like, I think sometimes you, especially as a blue player, get caught up in the fact of like, oh, I have to hold up mana. I have to, this creature may not be a good play, blah, blah, blah. But like, just slam the creatures.
Yeah, especially early. Like, obviously, you don't have to hold up your counter spells if you're not worried about a Quintorius entering play.
Right.
If you can put some
Yeah,
pressure on them early, force them to react to your plays, and make them cast their spells awkwardly in the first couple of turns, you can gain a lot of advantage.
yeah. All right, this is where I'm like debating on how I can get Katara out, and because Katara in my deck again is another one that you probably won't see in most Aang decks. But this is probably where I pass turn and just see what you can do with my Aang up.
Hold up,
And try
Aang.
to. Guide of Souls is also, I know, kind of not the typical Aang list card, but I play a decent amount of creatures and like gaining life. And Aang doesn't have a ton of life gain in it, so it is my little source of happiness, I think, sometimes. So,
Nice. Looks like
the Spell Queller.
Spell Queller. Yeah. I in the event had never seen this art of Spell Queller, and then I watching a commentary in the future, I was like, I still have never seen this card before.
Yep, that's like a secret lair or something that a friend of mine got, and he's like, I don't like blue cards. Do you want this? I was like, yes. Like, I'll definitely take it. I also think I missed did I gain life. I think I gained a life there.
I think you
I
gained
don't
the
know.
life too. Yeah, because you got ousted for 3 life, and you've played 2 creatures after the
Mm.
guide. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, so I'm good.
Yeah, and I'm getting
still
beat
holding
down
up
here.
Aang.
With you have like Aang up to protect the Spell Queller, so it's hard for me to go after the Spell Queller to get the Onta Nice back to answer like the Guided Souls or anything. Cycling the
Yeah.
Holy
The
Font.
problem is with Spell Queller or like with Aang with Spell Queller and Omthanize, you can just Omthanize the Guided Souls like you originally planned, but then I have a two threes in the air to try to come back with. So it's not horrible. It's just not great either for me. But here what do you discarded Oliphant?
Yeah, I mountain cycled Oliphant for Plateau here. I see a Magus in my hand versus a basic island over there.
Magus would hurt. I do have one basic island.
Yeah. Island isn't the good land for answering a Magus the Moon, so it's pretty tempting.
Well, if you play Magus here, I just Aang it.
Yeah. And then gives you a turn to. There we go.
And yeah, so on upkeep, you're gonna go after my Spell Queller. And like this is also a mistake on my end. I airbended the spell, I think, when I should have probably airbended Spell Queller.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that when you Spell Queller the Onthanize. I was like, you could have anged and then like let the Onthanize resolve and ang the Gaia Souls too. And like anging Magmatic Single is really rough, right? Because you can pay the 2 costs with Delve, so it's essentially.
Maybe I do make the right choice here.
Okay.
I think I do like you. I think maybe you went. You do. Richard does the same thing where I cast it and you're like, okay, well I guess my spell's airbended. I'm like, no, but yeah, I end up making the wrong choice.
Okay, yeah, it seems like you were deciding on which one you wanted to go with. Yeah,
so then I draw for turn, play the land here, which again leads me to like think maybe I should have just airbended Spell Queller because I'll have 2 mana. But I'm gonna Guide of Souls, Spell Queller attack, put 2 counters on Guide of Souls, and hit you for 5.
Makes sense. A lot of damage, but it is also a delicate house of cards, right?
Yeah.
If I can, you might have another counter spell, but if you don't, we can like make Sinkhole, Spell Queller, get the Onthanize the Aang or the Guide.
Yeah, the delve here is unimportant because you don't have a graveyard anymore.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can just 2 mana is probably a risk I shouldn't have taken. Let's see what we got.
Does seem like a good spot to play Magus of the Moon. Nope. Oh, okay, that's a good spot to cast Flage.
Flage is really good, yeah. So I gotta pilot around both Magmatic and Flage. So you end up taking Spell Queller, Onthanizing Aang. I don't think I have an answer. If I did have an answer, I would probably play it. But you are at 9 life. I have a 3/4.
I assume you have a piece of enchantment removal here.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, something like a March.
I do have Wrath of the Skies in my hand. I know
Yeah.
that.
But Wrath Skies
I
also pulls up
probably
your Guidasol, so it's not that bad.
yeah, I probably swing with Guide and then Wrath just to see what I can do. It's not great. It's just not great all the way around.
Yeah. And notably there, targeting the Aang with the on thin ice instead of targeting the guide, even though the guide is more pressure, is specifically because I am worried about some sort of enchantment removal. Targeting a commander is usually better at removing a commander because you often just put in the command zone and then it's, guaranteed removal and we can sinkhole the guide later or something.
If I play Katara pass, I forgot to gain a life, gain an energy there. Silly mistakes. Let's see what we got. So we got this Veil Plains for Silence. And this is where I go, ugh, I want to cast spells.
Silence into Magus into Sinkhole the Guide.
Oh, you know what would be pretty cool? I think
we're going
this
back
is where
to
you back up a second and go, hey, this is missed. You're nice enough to go, yeah, it's fine, whatever.
Yeah, I really don't care about that stuff usually.
So if I have Odawara in hand, this is the only thing I can think of because it's not a cast, it's an activated ability. That'd probably be my only out in this instance. But
you'd have to float mana in response, which looks like
so it looks like I did not do any of that. So goofy me. I have only red, and there's some blue.
Second blue is not bad, certainly.
Yeah, I must have. So I'm probably just relied too heavy on Wrath of the Skies.
Now you're completely cut off from it.
Yeah.
Definitely makes sense. Seems like it's time to start jamming Quints. You do obviously still have 2 blues, so if you have counter spells, it doesn't just resolve, but looks like
looks like it's going to resolve. This is where I'm
discard a Witch Enchanter.
Slightly defeated mentally of like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna get out of this? You're at 6 life.
Yeah.
Again, this is the part where I feel like Aang kind of falls flat is this mid game of like I can put so much pressure on you and then you just bounce back. And I'm just sitting there going like, okay, well, how am I gonna get out of this? All right, so there's 3. There's a flashing in the weird.
God, what is that card's name?
Something
hydroelectric specimen. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get your experience counter for that.
Yeah, I think I actually put it on the energy counter. And again, I maybe I missed a trigger there, but
I think you. Wait, did you? Oh, you're drawing here.
Okay.
I think you might have.
I go, hey, wait. Yeah. I got rid of Council Judgment because I'm cut off from blue.
Yeah, makes sense. That card's not really castable until the game's already over, I think.
Yeah.
We got a Plagon.
So we cast Plagon. I love Plagon.
I have to imagine you drew that one off of the Katara, because obviously that makes your attacks way better.
Yeah.
It's really good on this
not exactly. You have to use blue in the activation, so because I only have 2 blue, maybe, but yeah.
You'd have to play it pre-combat because you have the 1 blue and you can threaten lethal here, right? And I can't block.
That's true.
I have to block. You just get to kill the Magus because you're just attack. No, you'd only attack for 5, I guess.
So it's interesting.
But I mean,
but now I'm definitely threatening lethal with blue mana. I have a memory lapse. I just saw that.
Yeah, puts me in a tight spot, and you have a counter spell. We're still backs against the wall right now, but
I have no idea. I have an idea, I guess. I'm not sure what I was thinking when I let Aang sit under the Onthan ice, but man, that looks so bad.
I think the plan was just like you were looking at your Wrath of those guys and being like, this is getting cast eventually. I might as well get a free Aang out of it.
Yeah.
And then this Magus the Moon happened.
I'm not sure what the spell is that you just played over there.
It looks like an Agatha's Soul Cauldron.
All right, so I'm gonna go for Brain Surge.
Oh yeah, you use the dice in front of
the
dice in front of the Katara. That's the experience counter dice. Brain Surge is good, especially if you can find a planes.
There's a swords in there. I see that. There's a no more lies in there, but oh, white mana, you elude me again.
My
That's
back
also one of my
is against the wall here. Oh,
biggest
maybe
issues.
not. Ghostfire Slice the guitar. Makes sense.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
one of this deck's biggest issues is like the land base. I feel it always gets me.
Mm-hmm. It
So
looks like we are.
you're
I'm
eating Witch Enchanter or a land. You eat the lands, make a spirit, pass turn.
doing things in response or before you untap and can have like a shot type in. Oh, there's the planes. This might
All right. So
be
this
the
is where the
spice of the
comeback
end.
happens, I think. We gotta kill
I
Magus.
think this is just a kill Magus, Wrath for 1 lethal, right? Plow Magus, I go to
Yeah.
7, Wrath for 1, double blue, attack for 7, exactly.
It's not 7. I think I don't maybe I'm misremembering. I thought hydroelectric specimen's a 3 toughness.
He's a 1/4.
He's a 1/4, so yeah, then it's
And
Exactsies.
there's Wrath for. I guess you get Wrath for
And
0
then
too, that works. Oh no, you have an energy
I had
resistance.
the energy from earlier, yeah.
Yeah. And then you do have lethal. There we go. Yeah, that's. I mean, that is the power of having some more creatures. Than oftentimes when Quint stabilizes at like a kind of low life total in these blue matchups, it's kind of okay. You're just like, okay, I'm at like
Right.
7 life or whatever, but that's fine. They can't pressure me that well. But if you have random 7 power and play from like a Plagon 1/4 and like all the chip damage from the Guide of Souls and all those other cards early, then those things add up.
Yeah, I think again I've changed Aang a little bit since then. I focus more on the parallaxes and using that effect with Aang.
Yeah, I
But
never
I keep
thought about that, but wait, is that airbends a creature or spell? So how does
so the Aang himself doesn't do that, but what you can do is if you play Tidebinder
Mhm.
early, you can airbend Tidebinder and use that with Aang as well. But because of how heavy the blink package is with Aang and all the other creatures in his supporting cast, Tidebinder with that or any of the others. Like I also have Containment Priest, which I'm trying out right now.
Mhm.
So like Parallax Wave with Containment Priest just says nope, they all go away
Yeah.
forever. Um, Stuff like that. But again, like the Stifle package is in Aang, so you just run the Stifle package plus Tide and Wave, and eat their lands, eat their creatures if necessary, and then Cathar Commando does kind of a similar package with either of the either of the parallaxes.
Yeah. Makes sense. For a second there, I was like, "Wait, can Aang exile any non-land permanent?" And was there just a blue-white version of Airtide this whole time that no one's been playing? No. It's just
No, but it's
other
funny
other
because
things that are in place.
I when the card was spoiled, I literally messaged Richard, who's our resident Urtai player. I go, "This is the blue white version of Urtai," and he's like, "Nah, I don't know if it's that good. It only hits creatures or spells." And I'm like, Yeah, creatures or spells. You can get rid of a threat or get rid of and semi counter a spell, but it gets around can't be countered. So spells like Supreme Verdict, Long Goodbye, if they, Mistrise Village something, you're just like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Airbend it.
Hexing Squelcher.
And Squelcher, exactly. So that's kind of that's one of the biggest reasons I love Aang too, is it's just this loophole. And it plays all the loopholey cards like Spell Queller, like Subtlety, like
Mm-hmm.
um Haven Interrupter, stuff like that, where you're just like, I didn't counter it. You just didn't cast it.
I wonder if I'm digging for lands here, or if this is me continuing to misevaluate this matchup by milling that plow. Because I think the plow is like a card that I would want against your iteration of Egg, but
Yeah. So yeah, you go for the ooze, I spell snare it. I'm gonna play a basic land to watch out for turn 3 Magus here. Um Then we play land. This is okay. This is the typical Aang matchup that you would normally see. Of like,
yeah,
okay, well,
we got some land go.
this is actually I pointed to your basic land because when I played, I remember this distinctly. I played my basic land. You go basic land. That's cheating, and you then immediately play a basic land, and I go he's cheating. And I think one of the judge looked at me and I was, I'm just kidding. I swear.
All right, so there's Denick. who prevents cards and graveyards from being targeted. Is that right?
Yeah, and
So
I
this
believe cards can't be cast from
cat.
graveyard
Oh, I can read
either, or
it now.
something like that.
Cards in graveyards can't be the target of spells or abilities. Lifelink 2/3. Okay, so the Phyrexian Furnace does actually get around Denik because Phyrexian Furnace
Right, because
targets
you
the
target the
player.
player.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, you can have my spells in here.
Got him.
But yeah, I'm a little more like hesitant to do anything. And then, all right, spoiler, foreshadowing, whatever you want to call it. That's the card that beat me. That's the card right there that beat me.
I mean,
The
when you
Dust Bowl.
see this is a missed land drop, right? Because this is turn 5 for me, so.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh.
Red Elemental Blast,
Ooh.
dazing the Red Elemental
Daze
Blast.
is good, but
I'm also down a land drop.
yeah, and
I
now
look at
Quinn's sitting here costing 2. It's not like he's totally off the board or anything.
right. So I put Daze there for a second to remind me of like, okay, I picked up the islands.
Yeah.
And now I just need to threaten pressure as much as possible.
Yeah. The blood's in the water. You're sitting there staring at your hand of no lands and a Dust Bowl across the table. You just need to get me dead.
And I just can't get a land drop. And it's one of it's this deck's biggest weakness is sometimes you just can't get the land drop when you need it.
See, it's Wrath of God in my hand, but I don't know if I've yet picked up on. Yeah, looks like I'm Wrath.
Yeah, so here's a City of Trader. Here's a Day of Judgment. And here goes Flare of Denial Hardcast.
Cancel. All right. And now we hardcast play Quint again. Makes sense. We get a ground blocker. Do I activate now? I think I should not. I imagine there's more sorcery speed creature removal in your deck than there is like planeswalker removal. I guess there's like Shana's Tidebinder, which can also punish me though.
Yeah.
I guess before I do any of that, I should loot.
Yeah, this also to be mentioned too. This is also like a week or two after like Strixhaven hit, so like Quintorius was pretty new all the way around. So there wasn't really much tech like built into my Ang deck for Quintorius yet. But as I worked on my own Quintorius and played against Quintorius and so on, I made sure that there was cards like Get Lost, which should have been in my original Ang list, I think, in retrospect. But Get Lost is just so good against Quintorius, you just can't not play it. All right, so here's a non-basic land. I think this is this is the
Hydroelectric Specimen, the backside.
Yeah, and then we're gonna on thin ice the spirits.
Yeah, and see, this is exactly what I was just talking about. That maybe I shouldn't have activated my Phyrexian for whatever the furnace on my turn.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go after you to try to keep putting pressure.
Yeah, there are some points where it just feels like it's impossible to take Quintorius off the board with damage.
Yeah. What's funny is like if you didn't have Phyrexian Furnace or I had a way of getting rid of Phyrexian Furnace, I could just swing both like on the following turn, swing both at Quint, pump both with Plagon, and then deal 6 to Plagon pretty easily. But again, you're at 11 life. I'm at 22, but my lands are costing me the game. I'm down 2 land drops now.
Yeah, tell me about this choice to put Ang on the top, like let Ang go back to the library with the oust. If you're worried that much about land drops, you think it's better to just be like, okay, maybe this Ang isn't getting cast if I'm missing my land drops, but like I'd rather be able to dig deeper to try to find those lands.
The thought process was I had Plagon in hand, and I like was kind of confident of like, okay, well, even if I can't, get through it, I'm also land light, so I don't really want to try to put cast Ang for 5. I'd rather try to cast Ang again for 3 than 5 when I don't have the mana to do so. But with Plagon, it was like, okay, well, I'm going to draw an extra card. I can kind of work around the patch of Ang, not like kind of blocking that. And then here we go, folks. This is when it starts. I'm like, please, whatever you want to do, just don't, come on. What do you got? All right.
Here's the Field of Ruining starts.
Yeah.
And it does make sense in a board, say, that's going to get gummed up on the ground real quick with Quintorius plus Phyrexian Furnace. makes sense that like you'd value a flyer to try to get in these last points of chip damage.
Yeah. So I play Tundra, cry a little bit mentally, and I go, okay, well,
You got a
I could
Wrath of
Wrath
the
the Skies.
Skies. Yeah.
So this is also to note, if you can't see, I also run Helm of Obedience and Rest in Peace.
Rest in
I'm
peace. Really brutal against Quintorius.
Yeah, so I'm kind of hoping to get Rest in Peace here, so I can like work a little bit easier against Quintorius, but this gets rid of Omphanize, gets rid of Chains to the Rocks. And then I have Plagon up, and I'm just kind of thinking like I have Subtlety in hand. That's not really like worth it. So I'm gonna swing 3 at face. Again, I'm just gonna try to threaten, like put as much pressure as possible.
Yeah.
You would
Makes
imagine
sense.
by the life totals, I could win this game.
My enablers off the board. You have Denick back in play, which turns off like some of the enablers, right? Like I guess only really Ghost Vacuum, Relic, and Scrapping Claws are not going to target.
Yeah. Well, the other aspect of keeping Aang on top and having it in my hand is I have the 3 mana. If you do get a spirit, like I could
Yeah,
potentially just put the spirit, like get the spirit out of here.
just a free removal spell for a token makes sense. Yeah, like we've
Yeah.
seen this game. If an angst was sitting in your command zone, it's a million years from being cast ever. Oh, we got
Yeah.
shenanigans
So
though. For
shenanigans, milling to, yep. So an engine piece in the hand is a little rough for me because I can't innately deal with shenanigans unless I get rest in peace. And in my head, I'm like, if I can get rest in peace, I can win the game. I just need rest in peace. Please let me get rest in peace.
getting a little
Because the
glimpse of my
thought
hand
process is,
here. We got mountain shenanigans. I think I saw the aura Swift reconfiguration,
mhm.
which is pretty
But
good
why worry
news.
about what you can cast if you can just get rid of my lands?
Stone. I mean, I'm at 8. You can still cast this Aang, and you do have an answer for this right here. This is probably like an Aang turn, right? Aang show for.
I imagine so.
It'd be really good if you hit a land drop here, right? Because then you could Aang and pump the
Yeah.
Plagon. Otherwise, it's just Aang show for 2, which is a lot worse than Aang show for 5.
Yeah, this is probably where the misplaying starts on my end. So, yeah, I probably should have cast Aang here. But I'm gonna try to attack you. Like I'm so bent on like, okay, well I gotta try to go to face, gotta try to do something. Um,
And
so we
then
end up I think we keep Plagon going, but put you to 5, go up to 24, get rid of the spirit that
I'm sitting
way.
here thinking about Swift reconfiguring. Maybe I don't want to. Maybe it's not Swift reconfig.
I
No, it
think
definitely is.
yeah, that's definitely like the
Yeah.
probably a huge error on my end. I could have just played Aang, got rid of the spirit,
Yeah.
hit you for 2.
I think I'm holding on to the Swift reconfig specifically for Aang because I'm not that as worried about ground creatures. So I'm affording to take the 3 here with the idea that like this Aang might be able to just fly over all my tokens, but if I just untap with Quint again and plus and discard the shenanigans one more time, then I'll be able to put stuff in front of Plagon.
Right. Yeah, again, that's probably one of my biggest errors is again just I could have airbended the token away. Sure, you Swift reconfig, but it still gets its thing, its
Yeah.
ETB,
I
and
mean, airbending the
I can
token, you only deal 2 because the Plagon can't attack profitably. But it is
right.
notably, it is like if you're not hitting a land drop, this is like that was like your last turn to play Aang.
So I think I
Oh,
cast Felia. I flipped the mana, cast Felia,
that is another reason I'm
and
playing. Notably, really good at attacking into tokens.
yeah. But if you have Enlightened Tutor in hand, and there's a Swift reconfig.
Yeah, I
Yep.
can't really let that one attack. But now, if you ripped the land right there, and Aang, well, you don't have the ability
Yeah.
to attack the Plagon and play
Spoiler:
Aang.
I don't rip lands.
And
I just don't.
if you don't rip land at all, then you're just going to be put in the blender by this Dust Bowl.
Yeah, that is the tough part of this right here. Like I have 5 cards in hand. None of them are great in the moment. Like getting Felia was kind of like the last ditch effort of like, okay, well now I can actually win if you don't deal with Felia. Like I can swing in. All right, so this is
Yeah,
where I'm going
another
to
flash
play
creature.
flashing
That one
fairy mastermind,
flies. It's. I do need to kill that.
which
Nice.
isn't incredibly difficult
Yeah.
because you're drawing a bunch. You're just outvaluing all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
Um, notably, you haven't played a land yet, and I see that. I think I see the mountain in hand. So
Yeah.
like, it's a little interesting. Of like,
Mountain's a little awkward. I think I tapped. I guess I could. I should have played the mountain for. Okay, I do have a fetch land. I'm probably kicking myself if I do have a mountain in hand. I should have played it and tapped that to the Dust Bowl because white here would mean that like I could enlighten tutor for um a Onthan Ice. I think my Chain of the Rock's already dead, and then kill the.
uh, you already used on thin ice. I think
Did I use
maybe
both?
that's first. You changed the rocks.
I know I used
Maybe you
Chain. I
didn't.
forget.
Maybe this is the
And
first game.
there's
There's
also
so many
like
games.
portable seam rip I think that I could do, and it looks like I am doing that here,
Yeah,
but I just had to fetch. Yeah, I think that is just me kicking myself for not playing the mountain
yeah.
first. I take an
Portable
extra
hole.
damage.
I was like, yeah. You want to target Swiffer config?
Not a legal play for better or for
Yeah,
worse. I mean, I could target the Felia.
you could. That would just be super innate. No reason. Yeah, shenanigans. Make some spirits.
You should
I'm
draw a card here, right?
Yeah, you draw, mill, and then
Should
you play. Oh, I should have.
you
Yeah, I
should
guess I
draw a
missed
card here
it.
off the Fairy Mastermind because
Oh well.
the shenanigans only eats one of the draws. I draw a card naturally, right?
Yeah.
There's a tap land, rough. Good old Celestial Colonnade, or as modern players loved to call it back in the day, Azorius Guild Gate.
Yeah. Yeah, this is another difference of like I know a bunch of people would probably get me in the comments of like Celestial Colonnade's a bad card, whatever. Um, but ultimately, like, oh, there's a lightning bolt, I think, or unholy heat. Sure. Um, Celestial Colonnade has won me so many games because it's a big flyer. Like in this aspect, if things were to go a little differently and I
Oh
was to
yeah.
get some land drops, Celestial Colonnade could just win me the game over the top here.
Hey, you're talking
But
to number one tap land supporter.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to be on the same page as that. But
Well, Celestial Colonnade's fine, but Boros Garrison's too good for you. I see how it is.
yeah, absolutely agree there. Celestial Colonnade is a beater. Boros Garrison is just
No,
to put
there's
you
the
behind. So I show Supreme Verdict and I go, okay,
yeah,
yep, cry.
not quick at
Cry at one land and
and
go,
that's the
okay, I could play
old
Deserted Beach, but it doesn't matter.
Quintorius engine
Hey,
plus
there's a
Dust Bowl
Murex.
Blender.
Yep. And that's it. That's the game. I mean, it was great games. Again,
Yeah,
had you at 4 life, I was putting the pressure down, but just couldn't finish the deal. And I probably again the misplay of not playing Aang. Because of the Felia was too tempting. Felia with plus Plagon is just draw, or Felia plus getting rid of spirits is just free damage.
yeah. I think a big thing there is having the foresight of like how does the next three turns of this game look, and it's I'm going to go from 3 lands to 2 lands to 1 land, so I
Right.
should play my 3 drop and then my 2 drop.
Right. And I guess at that point, like I was just like I was just too hopeful of like I'll draw lands.
We'll get the
I'll
land
be
next turn,
fine.
and then we'll get Stone Rain. We'll rip the land, and then we'll be able to play the next turn. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. Pride cometh before the fall, people.
and that's how the cookie crumbles. That's
Yeah.
gonna,
But overall, great game. I
yeah,
mean,
definitely some
went to round
fantastic
3.
games. And with like
Dust Bowl left a mark. I now have a Dust Bowl in almost every one of my control decks
Dust
because of
Bowl's
it.
really good. Very, I won't say underrated because it sees played a lot of decks, but like it's great in a lot of decks that you wouldn't even expect it to be great in. Like you look at a Quintorius list and kind of correct like uh look a little funny at it, but
Yeah, I actually run Crucible of Worlds in my Quintorius with Dust Bowl. So I just
yeah, that's a
before I
keyword.
play a land, I just sack Dust Bowl to itself and then play Dust Bowl or sack
Hmm.
whatever I want to Dust Bowl and then replay it. So
Yeah. If you get the
but yeah.
Flagstones of Trocaire plus Dust Bowl plus Crucible. You get to ramp yourself.
Ramp yourself up. That's it.
Well, that's going to wrap us up here in round 2 of CoolStuffCon Dallas. We'll be back with round 3 in the next video.
Thanks for watching.